it's really fascinating what you're talking about here, this idea of movement. In this well-known Montessori book called Montessori, The Science Behind the Genius, this researcher, Angeline Lillard, looked at, so what are the key principles of learning that now can be backed up by research? And the two that Montessori discovered that have now been backed up by neuroscience is there's a tie-in between movement of the body and cognition and higher order thinking. Even with adults, people need to move to think. And what you just said, Miles, the idea that collaborative linkages in learning are really important to people. When people can work together, they get better results. And that's early discovery of Dr. Montessori that we have in our schools, but many traditional schools don't know about. They force people to sit in chairs all day, and they make them work by themselves in cubicles. It's like, that's not how the brain learns.
There are no cubicles in the Serengeti.
Yeah, I really don't know how to sit in a chair properly. Oh, I'm sitting in a chair properly now. This is a triumph for me. I can't sit. So I guess my biggest challenge throughout middle school wasn't the academics or the social transition. It was learning how to sit at a desk.
That was the big one. That was your big learning experience.
Yes. Because before we had work rugs. Oh, how I miss work rugs. Those were great. So yeah, the sitting is a challenge, but I get through it. And so will you.
Positive.
I feel like not necessarily class, well I guess it applies to both class and school. The school I'm at has around 3,000 people, and it's kind of crazy, especially transferring from two really small schools going into that, is you walk around and you don't know a lot of the people who you go to school with. Like there are unfamiliar faces every single day, even though I've been going there for about a year and a half. When at a smaller school, you know everybody and you're really close. And I feel like that's definitely like, with a big school, you can make more friends, but not necessarily the closeness you have with a smaller school.
The change wasn't so crazy for me, considering that my school's a bit smaller. It's like a private school. It's only like 80 kids a grade, so it's a little bit smaller than your average public school. So the change wasn't as bad as it might have been for some of the other panelists, but what I'm saying is that I also liked that there were more people, because then there were more opportunities for me to build relationships and have more, and like have a larger friend pool than I would in Montessori. I think that the culture's a little different because everybody knows everyone, because it's a smaller school. And the biggest difference to me was there were so many people that I probably never even talked to some of them. I never even said a word to some of them because there are so many people, and yeah, it's just really hard to get to know more people when there are more people.
Honestly, I think the culture at MCH just cannot be replicated anywhere. Like, this is such a special place. Really, kind of like other people have said, MCH really felt like my family away from my family. And I think, like, largely this is cultivated by the teachers, or maybe just, like, the general, like, serendipitousness. That's not a word. But, like, the general...
It is now.
Serendipity.
The general luck of the people that were there at the same time, but just like the culture at MCH, it's really unique, and I don't think that you could find it at a different Montessori school.
Because knowing something is nice, but why it's that way is more important, right? The ability to not only ask about it, but have a genuine interest in the cause and reasoning behind something, getting a deeper understanding of what you're learning, not just knowing what you're learning, but why it's happening, why it's that way.
To me, two big things stand out. One is the ability to, like, social skills, like building relationships with your colleagues or classmates or teachers or whatever, and because that can be a real important skill, because as a human being, you want to have relationships with people, and so that's an important part of life. And the other thing is time management. So I have a lot of extracurricular activities. Like, I play hockey, I play guitar, I I have a bunch of homework, so I have to figure out how to use my time correctly, the right way to make sure I'm getting the most out of my time. So I do my homework in the car most of the time when right like directly after school, so I don't have to finish it at 9:30 at night.
I mean, MCH taught me legitimately everything that I know today. Like actually everything. But I think like the most important thing is like there's a very like strong sense of accountability here. And that's something that like again really shocked me going into middle school, that people just didn't have such a strong moral compass as I did, and as I know my MCH comrades have as well. And I think like following myself through life, like since coming to MCH, I've made like a few mistakes, just a few mistakes, as you can imagine. And I think like the strong sense of like accountability and responsibility for my actions that I've had has helped me through all of that, and has also helped me like just become a person that I can be proud of.
I think we all know a lot of human beings who have this abject fear of failure. Can you folks talk a little bit about what you learned in your Montessori experience about addressing mistakes and failure? Since that seems to be part of life, at least.
I don't think at MCH you really think of failure as failure. Like this whole idea of like failing a test or failing a project like never occurred to me until middle school. Like, especially we had such a strong support system helping you through everything, but at the same time like we didn't get graded on things, we got rubrics on stuff. And so like having that feedback made it feel not like failure, just like having the stuff to work on. And like if I had that same feedback now, like my middle school career would be so much better, because I remember like how much time my teachers spent on like developing stuff to talk about in conferences, like helped me grow as a student so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with Amina, because MCH was kind of like a controlled place to make mistakes, and like it's not like if you make a mistake everything goes wrong, but you learn what happens and how not to make the same mistake again. So like the learning part was really important.
Well, I believe it's important to make mistakes, and the school I go to, you can like they give you like feedback based on like how you did, and if you don't like meet standard on like an assignment, you're allowed to like correct the things you did wrong to meet the standard, and I think that's a very, very good thing, because you want to be able to correct your mistakes so you can learn from that and grow from that, and yeah.
Yeah, I feel like as people were saying before, is if you aren't making mistakes and you aren't learning, and that's definitely something that I've learned is natural, and that's just part of growing up in the natural learning process. Is you're not learning because if you do something wrong, you go from that.
Good, but like I'd never want to leave. This still feels like, I don't know, an extension of myself, like a part of my childhood that is just so important to the person that I am today. I'm never truly going to leave MCH, and I never want to leave MCH because of the people and the community.
I mean, like everyone in MCH is really welcoming and like really kind, and everyone just kind of helps each other, and yeah, I'm probably gonna like always remember that part.